Hi, and welcome to Sixcess Stories. We are your hosts, Christina Gent
and Eric Ozarowski.
And this is where we get to share real conversations with the members of the 6 Degrees community about life, leadership, and the power of meaningful connections. On today's episode, we have Robbie Wentzell, who is the Client Services Manager at Optima Office.
Yeah, in this episode with Robbie, we talk about each of our evolutions of making more intentional connections and being open to learning from just about everyone. You know, one of the things that we say a lot is everyone's worth a cup of coffee. We talk about not sweating the small stuff when it comes to the day-to-day of business. We get into the perspective and gratitude that Robbie has for the unique life that he's lived and how fortunate he's been so far and how much he wants to give back because of that. And we also talk about navigating personal and professional relationships at different stages. The analogy that we've used is kind of getting on and off the bus, making room for people on the bus, and we dive into that with Robbie and his version of that in this episode.
Yeah, it was really special. I honestly didn't realize that I was the first person to reach out to Robbie when he got his role at Optima Office. So that was really wonderful to hear and learn, and just the impact of that. And Robbie has also inspired us in so many ways. He's the reason why we have awards at our holiday party. He was the first ever to be awarded Connector of the Year. And if you've ever met Robbie, it's very well deserving. So this was a really, really wonderful episode to dive into a little bit more of that with him. So please enjoy this episode of Sixcess Stories.
Just as a quick check-in, I love the energy that you came in with. So it's Friday, so I would ask, what was the best part of each of our weeks this week? One high.
Today was amazing. Usually by Friday, I'm just burned.
Yeah.
And I just feel amazing. I had a partner meeting this morning. For me, I had 2 clients that I can connect him with instantly. I've known him for a bit.
Yeah.
Feels amazing just coming out and having a to-do versus coming out and being like, maybe I'll meet them again. I'm not really sure what they do. Like, that was great. Met a client for lunch. He said no one at the firm, he's been with us since 2018. No one from the firm's ever reached out to have a meeting. And
Wow.
I never get client meetings in person, and I love it. So when I started, sorry, this is a long answer.
You're okay.
When I started, there was about 150-ish clients that were already there, so I didn't have a relationship with them. Now all the ones since I've been there, I do. And so I'm trying to work my way back. Because
Sure.
Jen, my CEO, she's just super busy. So my role is to now start building those relationships myself. Finally, a client reached out and said, I'd love to get lunch. And I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
It made me happy. And like, talked a few things out. Not really a ton of to-dos. There's one, but just felt nice. And we just had a great talk. And it was just a good vibe. Was in the office, just me and Jen. And just finally, I got my email drafts this week from 350 to, I'll just say 6-7 as a joke. But I think I'm at like between 60 and 70. It's the first time in 6 months I've had my drafts under 100.
Your email system
Wow.
is crazy.
I know
Yeah.
your email system is
So sorry for the
definitely
long-winded,
wild.
but just a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were coming off of just talking to someone, and I noticed the same thing. So there's multiple conversations this week. My energy is so much better when I get to sit down with someone in person, have conversations. I think I've been talking to more people this week.
Yeah.
A lot of it's been event-specific stuff, but just on the phone more and talking, just having more conversations. I would join you of just like this has been a really positive week because of that.
How many people did you, let's just say on this week, how many people did you meet with this week in person?
Christina has taken over the majority
Yeah.
of, she's really kind of doing that on a consistent basis. For me, if I meet 2 to 3 people a week, that's just because I have my bandwidth is in other places. I would love to be more like meet at least one person a day. Some more like in a perfect world, it would be meet someone new and meet someone I already know. That would be a really great, like do a lunch and a coffee.
Lunch and coffee, yeah.
That would be a really great day for me.
Yeah, if I have a super light week, it's 3, and that's me not really doing the work that the preparing and getting things on my calendar. And oftentimes that'll happen around this time when we have a really big event or something coming up. But I try to, at least 6, and there's been times where I've had closer to 10 or 12, and that was crazy, but also energizing as hell.
Yeah.
And that's what I would love for my calendar, to really just be meeting new people, meeting with people that I know, and then literally this, being able to sit down, which that's part of what I've really enjoyed about this specifically, is this has given me so much more time with members that I really haven't seen in a while, and I haven't really had more of this kind of one-on-one, I don't know, it's two of us, but this kind of interaction with. So even when you're asking about a highlight, and it's hard not to just go straight to, we just had an incredible conversation with somebody right before this, right, on this podcast. So that right now, I'm kind of just still energized from that being the highlight of the week, which I know it's recency biased, but that's what
Definitely,
I'm sitting with.
Yeah, people are always kind of blown away by how many people I meet, but I think it's just the repetition. For you, being and doing what you've done so long, how many of those meetings are you being proactive and reaching out versus now me connecting you with a prospective member, someone reaching out to you? Like,
Yeah.
is that mostly you?
Yeah, I'm probably booking my own for the most part, but it's because I use Dripify for LinkedIn.
Okay.
And so, yeah, for anyone listening, like, it is such a great tool. I keep it very specific of who I want to connect with, so it is still genuine. And then I only have, it's my connection request message and then one message after that, and it has nothing to do with selling 6 degrees in any capacity. It's genuinely, I want to meet with really great leaders, because what has happened is so many of the people that I end up meeting with from meeting, like connecting with people on LinkedIn, I've been able to literally connect that person with one of our members who can help them in some capacity, right? I just met with somebody last week who talked about needing marketing needs, and I was like, boom, I have someone, right? So that's my intention, is how can I continue helping the members of 6 Degrees with every person that I meet? And if they happen to be interested in what we're doing in this type of community, obviously that's awesome, and I want to keep growing. But I think that angle has been super helpful with actually having that many people say yes to my invitation to meet for coffee.
Yeah, it's probably 80-20 of Christina's, of 5 to 1 for every 5 things that are getting on her calendar. It's from her generating it versus one that's coming in at this point. And then the other thing, I think that you mentioned, how many for you? Like, what's a normal week?
I try to meet one new person a day.
Yeah.
So I do a coffee every morning. I've pushed it out a bit because I have a nicer setup at home now. So it's 9:30 or 10 or 9. Today's was 8:30, which was fine, but you have to crunch a little bit more and rush.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to rush. I'm trying to really enjoy the morning, but every morning this week, 9 a.m., met with someone. The only way that's not happening is if they cancel. Now, if people cancel now, what I used to do is try to fill the hole. I don't fill the hole anymore. It's just
you take it as I
take
have.
it as
I got time
fate,
back.
Fate's telling me you just go to the office and get some work done, or go to the gym later, or whatever. Start your morning slower. So try to do one every single morning, and then I'm doing 1 or 2 lunches a week, usually UTC or something, and then 1 or 2 events. But I'm kind of burnt out from the events because the events funnel those meetings,
Right.
but the spider web of connections is so massive, and there's so many people I haven't re-met with over the past year, new people that I haven't reached out to, or maybe I don't mind following up with someone 3, 4, 5, 10 times and just being like, you want to get coffee now? You want to get coffee now? They don't respond. I don't get mad about it.
Sure.
So there's always someone to fill one of those holes. Like, I'm booked out the next 4 weeks. Easy.
Yeah.
Only way that someone else can fit in is if someone cancels. Sometimes I'll plug, if it's a 9 to 10, I'll have someone meet me at the same spot, 10:15.
So you're pretty much, you have a coffee every morning. You start your day with coffee.
Best way to start the morning for me, one, being new to sales and new to what I do, it's the easiest way to get into a good momentum.
Yeah.
You get the tongue rolling. Sometimes on Monday I wake up and I'm like, I don't know what I do. What is accounting? what is my name?
Go
like,
tell someone. That's a good way.
No, you start the day such on a nice, fresh, easy note. There's no harm done. They don't owe you money. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're just talking. It allows you to go straight to the office. And then when you actually have client calls or internal meetings, it makes the day so much that you've gotten the word jumble gone. And so it's just such a clean way to start the day, get the easy emails done before I head out.
When did you learn that rhythm worked for you? I would imagine.
I don't know. I want to pull back and say the reason I became, so Christina was the first person when I got my new role to reach out to me. And so I'll never forget that. And it was, hey, I knew the person who worked in your role. Like Jen had been in 6 Degrees before, and she's like, come out to this pickleball event. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I'm networking.
I forgot about the pickleball
I'm a nerd,
Dude,
and I'm nervous and whatever. And I just remember her being the first person to ever reach out was something I'll never forget. And that's always stuck with me, of always be the first person to reach out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you spurred me on that. And then for some reason, I just started setting meetings, and I don't even remember why. I just like coffee. I drink way too much. But it was just an easier way to get to know someone. And I feel like that's my superpower, is the one-on-one connection.
Yeah.
And just truly showing them I am not trying to sell you anything.
I'm here to help.
Just here to help. I'm just trying to learn too.
Yeah.
Every time you meet with someone, you can learn. Even if it's the worst meeting in the world and you hate the person, and you're like, I can't wait for this to be over. You learn something of, he or she did that I didn't like. So I think I've done that in the past. Make sure highlight that. Don't say that, or don't good eye contact. I didn't dress nice, whatever. Like, whatever the thing is, you can learn something. You're not going to have, if I do those 5 meetings a week, you're not going to have 5
We
meetings.
have a thing. I heard this from somewhere, but like, everyone is worth a cup of coffee. Can't always be the best coffee ever with the best person ever, right? There's different words. I've had bad days. I've had days where I was like, oh, that wasn't my best, right? I sat down with someone brand new, and like, for whatever reason, I wasn't on my A game, and it just, it happens. It's part of.
I mean, I would just remember, not even a week and a half ago, we had literally left. We went to this coffee together, and we left it, and we both were like, damn, we were off. That wasn't our, that was,
I don't even remember
you know.
I blacked that one out.
It's like, I don't remember that
Goldfish.
one.
I had quarterback
But
memory for that
even
one.
the bad ones, you take lessons and say, well, what did I do wrong? Did I wake up too late? Did I not have my cup of coffee before I left the house? If I meet with someone in private equity or an older financial advisor who's sharp, make sure you wear the right clothes. Like, study up, because they're going to ask a little bit more intricate, in the detail questions. And so that's where you got to, I'll do a couple more calls on the drive there to get that, even pre-coffee.
Sure.
Get the tongue rolling, call my mom, call a few friends, get things rolling, because you got to be on more. Now, if I'm meeting with someone I've met with before, it's not as intense. You know each other. You don't have to be so specific.
Yeah.
But that's where some of the, I meet with an investment banker, and they start talking about PE ratios and all these crazy things, which I get, but you want to be able to
hold your own in a
hold your
conversation.
own.
Yeah. You want to be able to at least know what they're talking about, but be able to add value to the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. So to go back to how we started, and just in terms of your experience of getting out into the world and the networking world, how has that evolved over the last few years for you personally?
Yeah, I've just consolidated some of the things I do. My role has expanded, but it's just been amazing. I love just meeting with people, but the events, I get a little more anxious now and stressed, because it's either I know nobody, which is fine. I just don't really want to do my little slogan, hey, my name's Robbie, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not really how I want to start a conversation. Or I know too many people and I don't meet anyone new, and then I feel bad that I didn't meet anyone new. So I've been kind of playing with that a bit, and so that's a little struggle right now. Just want to make sure I'm very present in what I'm doing, and sometimes I'm questioning it. Like, even back to when before getting out of the car for that pickleball event, I should just drive home, blah, blah, blah. It's that fear, and you just push it away. And it's weird. It's like it comes in waves, and now it's coming back again, where I'm like, I should just go home. I have work to do, or you're tired, blah, blah, blah. So still pushing yourself, but I'm trying to be, if I'm going to go be present, just be there. So that's something I'm constantly still working on. I also wanted to get away from being the networking guy. I don't.
Did you feel like that? You had
sure.
that.
I still have people reaching out. Where's that networking list? I'm like, dude, it doesn't exist. I didn't even go to half those events. I was just sending it as a nice touch point to some partners. And finding real estate events for my real estate. It was just like a nice, easy way to not, because I'm just super against being salesy. So my way of prospecting is sending those resources, and they could delete the email. It's fine, but my name pops up. They see my name. Same with LinkedIn. I don't care for LinkedIn. I literally just do it so you guys see my name pop up. And, I put in just educational, nice posts, but it's not to prospect. It's just that repetition.
It's consistency and it's visibility.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, because it's, 7 times that I have to be in front of somebody and really, share.
It's like 37.
Yeah.
It's 37?
It's something. It's used to be before the internet.
Before everything else?
Before social media, it was like, 7 to 10 times is like the normal.
Yeah.
cadence.
I mean, it's crazy, but you're right. Like, just even just having the name pop up over and over again, it's like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's happened so much even with my experience of people being like, oh, yeah, I keep hearing about this 6 degrees thing. Like, what is that? Right? And then I get to talk about it. But it's having that visibility and showing up. But, yeah, I could 100% see how exhausting it would become being like the networking guy. And
yeah, I'm curious on your end because you've definitely made a pivot in that world as well. And yeah, I just was known as the networking guy, but it's not like you're the class clown, but it's just, I don't want to be that. And I like going to the events, but my job's just over time. You just get busier and busier. I just didn't want to be known as that. And anytime someone said that, oh, Robbie's all over the place, I'm like, no, not really. It's just, when I'm there, I'm at the right things, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you're seeing me means that hopefully I'm at the right things, you're at the right things,
right,
where the people of San Diego that are doing business are. And then when you're there, you're leaving an impact. You'd be a million. I could have run into someone has been at the same event as me 10 times in a row, never run into them, or vice versa, and it's maybe, they didn't make an impact on you. How can you leave someone remembering who you were and what you said? And
yeah, I think being memorable is important in those settings because so often it's so easy to, if I'm out doing the quote unquote the networking activity piece of it, it's so easy for things to not be memorable necessarily. For you, as you get more into the client side, the client service side, the relationship side, where Jen has a lot of these relationships, how have you been able to crack that nut in terms of getting the feedback? Right, and having some of those conversations, if you've had any success in that.
Yeah, I guess with clients it's tough. You will only hear if there's something bad, but I kind of like it because if you hear nothing, you're not sure.
Right.
And if you hear something bad, you can act on it. Not that you want to hear.
Well, it's Yelp culture, right? Where it's
Definitely.
like I can go to the restaurant and you're only gonna hear from me if it's amazing or if it's terrible.
Amazing to get the coupon, or terrible because the door wouldn't open or something, whatever. But I think I like the negativity because it makes me numb to other aspects of life that other people complain about, or even what I used to complain about that aren't that tough. Like when you're dealing with all of that at work and then you drop the milk or something, it's not that big of a deal because you've already been dealing with a lot of that more intense negative issues at work. And so I actually really like it and trying to then flip it around and solve those problems earlier. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of like it. I'm like really getting numb. We have
when you say numb, so it's like you don't sweat the small stuff.
We have 400 clients every week. Just statistically, there's going to be 2 to 3 issues. We have 110 employees. There's going to be 1 to 2 issues. Just it could be anything.
Yeah.
And so just knowing that is going to happen, if not more, for the rest of my life, and you just become numb to these things and you just act on it. And that's what I've learned from my CEO of let's just keep moving forward.
Sure.
Don't look back.
That's been new learning for you around.
Yeah. And I think what I learned is all of your aspects of life connect together. And so if you're stressed at work and it's bothering you, you're going to take those things. So you show up to your restaurant and you had a reservation at 7 and they didn't get you until 7:05. Who cares? That's not a big deal. There's people dying in wars and stuff. But it's if you let those little emails at work, they usually work as the start of your day, you let that blend in, then you're at the restaurant and they didn't cook your broccoli enough. Come on, when is enough? That's kind of what I mean. It's so these little tiny issues don't bother me as much in my other aspects of life too. And so that's what I'm trying to reel
perspective.
Back. Yeah.
I guess what's the motivation for that perspective at this stage with where you're at? Did something happen recently, or is this a newer thing because of something?
I guess I'll dive into maybe this now. So I just think back and just think I've had the easiest life ever. Now it's relative and I'm just giving my opinion. There's no one that's had an easier life than me.
Yeah.
And so why am I complaining? Why is there such an issue? And where I've gotten to now, I mean, my earlier life was still great, but this is even better. And it's, it's just like, stop worrying about all these little things. So I do a lot of nonprofit work, and these kids are in just these horrible situations, born with autism, Down syndrome. That could have been me, and I'm not that. And so the line took 5 more minutes to get in. They sat me at the small table.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. That's what I mean. When is enough enough? Now, There are scenarios where I think if you're treated poorly, you should push back. That's something I need to work on.
Sure.
I'm not good with confrontation. I'm working on it, because there definitely are scenarios where if you're disrespected or if someone's truly, but most of the time it's overreaction.
Yeah.
And if you just try to sit in that neutral zone between the fight or flight, allow the fight or flight to happen when you actually need it. Because that's not like getting fight or flight while I'm sitting at a desk typing buttons, why am I getting fight or flight while I'm on my computer at work?
I love
Like,
when you said, like,
doing?
I press buttons for a living.
I press buttons and I talk crap. That's like all I do. I talk crap and I press buttons. Why are you having this fight or flight reaction? No, if you walking on the street and a burglar comes to beat you up, that's when you should need that.
Yeah.
Save that for that moment. That's what I'm trying to. And it's going to be a never ending process.
No.
Your role changes, your life changes, everything changes.
I'm curious if, because you just named for yourself that you've had an easy life, and easy is relative, right? That's whatever someone's definition is of relative or of easy. I'm wondering if it's because maybe there haven't been those larger moments of a burglar, but anything that's a really major experience like that because of that, so your experience of the negativity is whatever level, right? Everyone, it's all relative to everything that we've all gone through. That's why everyone's definition of I've had a hard life, if I switch the narrative and I go, I've had a really hard life, and someone's so often is going to be like, well, my life has been harder and blah, blah, blah. But it's actually just relative to our own experience. So potentially part of the learning is for you is okay, so I haven't had quote unquote a hard life. It's been on the easy side. So these little things I have to maybe check myself to not make that the fight or flight moment, because it's not as difficult as it might feel now.
No, that's exactly right. And that's what I mean for myself. I've literally gone through the easiest life. I had 2 parents, 1 sister, 1 dog, 3-story house, pool, trampoline, parents pay for my college, and now I live in San Diego. Or say it as like a poker hand. I got like ace king suited. I didn't get aces. I'm not a trust fund kid. My parents are doing well, but I'm not going to be a millionaire or anything. But there's these kids I'm talking about, these nonprofits, they have 7-2 off, 9-5 off. But what I'm thinking, what I try to push to them is, who cares that you have 9-5 off? The board can come 9-5-5. I have ace king suited. That's a losing hand.
Yeah.
You can still make something with yourself. Just because there's someone like me that got lucky. That's why I want to push back or give back and do it. But yeah, I've literally only gone through one life thing and it's still like hasn't fully hit. So I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. Like I haven't. So that means those little things on the scale are actually bigger, because when you haven't gone through anything, the scale goes from 100 to 10 and now it's just shortened. So like I just haven't gone through a lot of tough times.
Yeah.
I think those will come. No one's that lucky. I think I'll have some stuff.
Maybe.
But that's why but I'm prepared for that, because I know that I've had the lucky life. And when that moment comes, or moments, it won't hit me as hard, because this was supposed to happen to me when I was 10. This was supposed to happen to me when I was 15. Having your first breakup at 28 years old. Who breaks up with their first girlfriend at 28? What a nerd. You're supposed to break up with your girlfriend at 18, 17, have a broken heart, understand what that feels like. I did that at 28. That's not supposed to happen. That's what I mean. Like, your brain's fully developed. You have a good career, a good life. You break up with your girlfriend at 28. It doesn't affect you the same, because that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You're supposed to break up with your first girlfriend at 16 and be dying for a month where your mom's checking on you, making sure you're like, okay. I just didn't have that.
Maybe.
I never had anyone pass away or anything. So it's just.
It happened the way it happened, though.
It happened the way it happened, for sure. And that's what I mean. But I'm saying there'll be things that come up. Like I said, I had my first thing this year. It hasn't fully sunk in. So yeah.
Is that your friend?
That's my buddy. Yeah. So I just don't. It comes in waves. It's weird. So it's like I said, I haven't gone through that. You're supposed to go through something like that younger, so then you kind of know what it's like later.
I think we talked about it a little bit, but I had never been to a wedding and I had never been to a funeral until after I was 21. When I turned 21, I had an open bar wedding with 2 of my friends that got married that were my age, and it was a chaos. It was one of the messiest weddings. Me dropped 3 glasses on the dance floor. because I didn't know you were not supposed to have glasses on the dance floor.
Was that Emily's wedding?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this was.
Because I was going to say, there's a reason why you would have been sloshed at that one.
No, this was just friends. And then I had never been to a funeral at that time either. Like someone that was super close. I had some, aunts, uncles pass, and my grandpa passed away, and that was someone like very important to my life. And so I would like, just kind of what you're saying, like very lucky to maybe not experience those things, but I don't know about the supposed to, and like.
Yeah, I don't agree with the supposed to either, because I think I felt the same way about, especially out of feeling like loss for someone's life, right? I still haven't really had the depth of losing a loved one that most people have experienced at this point in their life. I used to feel the same way of, I'm supposed to have dealt with something like this by this point, and I let go of that because it's going to happen the way that it's going to happen. And I think that the life experiences that I do have, and it sounds like what I'm hearing you say is like that's what you've been building up to, is that the life experiences that you are going through are going to prepare you as best as you can be prepared, because at the end of the day, something that I've never felt before is going to happen, and it's going to hit me, and maybe I can deal with it, and maybe I'm just at a point in my life where I do take 10 steps back. I don't know. I haven't been there yet, but I think I've also really felt that way, especially because I think, so my mom, she lost her mom when she was 11 years old, and it's something that has definitely impacted her life in so many ways, and she shares that a lot with me. And so I think, I don't know, I guess maybe even in this moment, I'm realizing a tad bit of guilt that I sit with of, I haven't gone through that yet. And it's probably even, God, I feel like when someone is going through a loss, I often I have no idea what to say. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to say, because so much of what is shared, even online, about when someone's grieving, they don't need you to say this, this, and this, and this, because they're whatever. And it's like, well, I don't know what the fuck to say. Because I haven't experienced what they're going through. Yeah. And so that has been really tough for me to even express my, my heart's going out to you. And yeah, so it's, I feel like it's happening. Life is going to continue happening the way that it's just meant to be happening. And I can't be like, well, I wish I would have gone through, someone dying. I think.
I had a friend, so my dog passed away. We had to put him down before we moved out here. I got him in my 20s, so my entire 20s, he was like my one constant. It wrecked me, and I had never felt like that. I told Christina.
Oh my God, I was so mad.
we had been together for like 3 years, married for 2, and I was like, this hurts more than if I lost you, is what I told my wife. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, that was really tough. I took it very literally. I took it as these are very true words. I'm a literal person. I take everything at face value, really. I mean, it's hard for me to even understand sarcasm sometimes. So when he said that, I was flabbergasted.
We're also in a pandemic, and I'm emotionally charged off of just losing. It's not the thing I should say. And there was truth to it at the time, right? Mm-hmm. It was, I've known you for 3 years. He's been in my life for 10. The hole is just bigger right now. You're going to fill the hole eventually. And just in this moment, that's how I feel. And it was very real. And just looking back, I was like, that was a dumb thing to say.
Yeah, it took me a while to understand it. And I came to the understanding of it, though, because it's just different. The feelings that we're going through, and especially during grief. I mean, and I even thought about, I also have a dog that's been in my life for longer than Eric. And so when that time comes, that's going to be tough. But yeah, it was a very interesting perspective, because you even said, because I was like, would you say that about your own family? I started pressing you on it, and which was stupid because he was literally grieving. But I was so upset. I was taking it really personally when it wasn't. It wasn't about me at all.
Mm. Yeah, so I went to my first wedding at 27.
Yeah.
First funeral was 28 or 29.
Yeah.
28. I had one dog. She made it to 21. One house my whole life, 21 years. And so that's where kind of that stability comes in.
There's a lot of constants.
But I've also had time to know, okay, my dog's 21. Every year after 16. So when it happens, didn't hurt as bad. My buddy who passed, he's in a coma for 3 months.
Sure.
People were saying all this stuff. No, I'm real. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So you have time to kind of like, and so I think that goes into a lot of my decision making in life because of the way I was structured. I guess my life was structured.
Yeah.
I'm an overthinker for sure. I've tried to calm that down. It's definitely from being in San Diego, I've calmed down. But like thinking about all the potential outcomes of this decision, thinking about even little spider webs from those. And then that way, when one happens, you were already kind of mentally prepared and you have a potential solution. Now, every once in a while, you have 8 and there is a 9th. Very rare.
Yeah.
If you get to 8, if there's a 9th, that's crazy. And then you're just like, that's awesome. I can't believe that just happened.
It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah. Like I literally thought of every
possibility?
outcome of this and there was a 9th. And I'm like, that's just hilarious. And I just laugh. And it makes no sense because you're not supposed to laugh, whatever the scenario is. But that's kind of how that's why my life has been so structured and organized. And it's just now later, some of these things are happening, but I sit back and think, and I'm like, these things are going to happen. They're going to be my first time. And it's very interesting.
It sounds like you have a really solid foundation. The main reason I shared my dog passing away was, so I had a friend call me and he was telling me about, I have this friend that I know, he's got kids. And so he intentionally bought a dog for the kids at a certain age, knowing that the dog's going to have 8 to 10 years, so that when they get to a certain age, they're going to experience death and have that hole. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so interesting to like have that perspective as a parent to want to give them that experience.
Yeah. One, dogs are family, 100%. I know some people have different opinions. Dogs are family. You don't have to let them on your bed. I will. Kiss my face. Do whatever. Dogs are timestamps on our lives, 100%. Some you get 5 years. I was lucky to get 21.
21's a long. How big was the dog?
It has to be a small dog, right? Yeah.
But like dogs are timestamps on your life. They're little mini chapters. And so you'll be lucky to have 5 good ones at some point. And you have to just know that you're going to have 5 chapters once again. Some people are luckier than others, but that's how I see it, 100%. And so I think that's genius. Me going away to college was basically me saying bye to my dog. Even though I'd come home and she's still there, that was the send-off, 100%. Yeah. And mentally, I was preparing, I'm going to come home one time, she's not going to be here. And so when it does happen, it doesn't hurt. Now, my mom who's at home, it's going to hurt way more, right?
Yeah.
Because that's her 3rd baby, right? And so... Yeah.
Did they get another dog after she
No,
passed?
and that's why I'm not happy about it, because it's a perfect... My dad's retired now. They could easily have a dog. Yeah. And
my mom was the same way. She lost one. And
she can't take the pain anymore, I don't think. She wouldn't want to lose it again, another dog before. Yeah.
And this is the other part of... So someone else told me, or not someone told me, but I read something or saw something about the more it hurt was the deeper that the love was. And that's the reason to get another dog.
100%.
Eventually, right? There's a big difference between just, I feel something and I need to fill the hole, and I get a new dog right away, or I'm out of a relationship and I need to jump into the next relationship because there's a hole. And then there's like, I'm processing this, I'm not ready. Okay, now I'm ready. And for me, like at some point, it's like, we'll get another dog. It's going to be a minute once we lose.
It'll be a minute.
Once Sophie goes. But it's like, I want to give that dog the best life possible, because I was really good at that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think not getting it because of the fear of that feeling again,
right.
I think that's not a good outcome. However,
I understand
jumping right back into the next thing just because you have that hole, that's also not good. You have to have that time. But yeah, if you want one, but you're that fearfulness of this puppy passing away again and it hurting me again, it's like, that's not how it works. That's not how it should work, though. It's, you get 10 great years, and one, you get to give them a great home in which they could be on the streets in TJ. They could be, who knows, right? And so you can make an impact and give this dog the best life ever. I think that's...
Well, it's unconditional. It's unconditional. There's nothing better than like coming home to a dog. He's like, "Oh, what have you been doing all day?"
Yeah, it's the best.
You're back.
Yeah,
there's nothing better. You talked a little bit about volunteering, and we're kind of on the page of, you mentioned dogs and rescuing a little bit. Why are the things that you're involved in important to you?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, dogs are definitely my passion. Since mine passed, I haven't been around any.
Yeah.
But I've been really trying to figure out for my entire life, what is my why? Still don't know, maybe never know, but I think I'm getting closer, and it's back to me being the luckiest kid in the world and having the best life. There's just so many kids out there that don't. I'm not like a kid person. I was never around I was around my first baby when my CEO had her first baby at, once again, 24. Who's around their first baby at 24?
Yeah.
It's just insane. So I'm not like, that's not my thing, but just realizing you're lucky, once again, relative, and how can you make a difference? And so I'm trying to peel down and get back to the why. So the 3 nonprofits I'm in is Big Brothers Big Sisters. We had a great time. He moved to Texas, so I'm interviewing for my second. I just joined a new one called Boys to Men. You go to a high school, there's kind of a circle, and just let the boys talk and just give perspective. And then the third is Miracle League. So far, this is one that's had the most impact.
Miracle League?
Miracle League. It's a baseball league for kids with disabilities, just like Little League. It's like 10 weeks, twice a year. And it is just the most fun thing ever. I go out, these kids are absolutely hilarious. At first, I was really nervous, never been around kids with disabilities. They're actually not worse than this way, but they're very disabled. Some, 1 or 2 kids are okay, but it's just insane to just see them out there having fun.
Yeah.
But what I've been realizing more, and it's the cliche, is like truly how it impacts me and what I learn, patience. You're talking to one of the kids and they have no idea what you're saying, but they kind of understand.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you look at the parents, and the parents are just so happy. It's the craziest thing to see. And so I've really enjoyed that one, and it's cool to see the kids get to know me more and trust me more.
Yeah.
And one kid comes up, he starts rubbing my arm hair. He's like, nice hair. And he's like, what's this? I'm like, that's my mustache. He's like, I got one too. I'm like, yeah, you do. And then he's like, I love you, buddy. And he's just so cute. And then my kid, his mom's like, Lewis, you get your ass, start running, blah, blah. And then our coach is kind of tough on the kids, but fake tough.
Yeah.
But it puts them in a real environment. It's just really cool. And that's where I'm the actual work of the nonprofit that's where I'm really enjoying it. I get out in the sun. Parker comes with me, hang out with one of my buddies, and we just hang out. And the kids are just hilarious.
That's
One kid goes up, oh, I'm batting cleanup again. I go, dude, you bat cleanup every single week. But it's just so funny.
He does it every
single week. He bats fourth. And he's like, oh, I'll get to bat cleanup this week. I'm like, yeah, every week. It's just so funny. But yeah, those are the ones. But pulling back, that's my goal is there's never enough you can do, right? You got to live your life still. And something that maybe we'll get into is the money versus the impact. And so trying to realize that impact, me being on the field with those kids, even if I'm just a body on the field, but someone's in the stands and they're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of people supporting this org. This is cool. The parents, and then obviously I think the kids, I think they really know what's going on. And even if not, they're getting outside, they're running around, they're not.
You're bringing joy to someone's life, right? Being able to do that for someone in any capacity, right? And then obviously for what I'm hearing from you is there's also this personal fulfillment. It's I'm watching tangibly, I'm impacting these kids' life.
Well, and there's leadership skills and things that you're also developing during that as well. You mentioned patience, and so there's just so much learning in all of it. And I think that anytime we can put ourselves in those types of opportunities, it's creating a positive for so many people. And just the fact that you named the parents in that too, because it is so hard, I think, from what they're dealing with.
My sister's husband has a sister with Down syndrome. And I know there's a different love that he has for her, but to see her, I would imagine, not to speak for him, but to see people treat her like a person and to have fun with someone and to watch him just be in a room where people are genuinely nice, not because they have to be, but just to treat them like a normal human being that's what I try to do when I'm with her. And not treat her any different from a parent's perspective or a relative's perspective. I want them to be the normal kid. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want them to be different.
Because, I think as a parent, it's the heartbreaking part is watching my kid. I can't speak from experience, but just I could imagine that it's like to have to watch my kid go through a harder life than I had, right? If my life was this and I'm now watching my kid have a harder life, that I think would be a really tough.
To your point, like the perspective of I got it pretty good.
Yeah.
And whether we call that easy or difficult,
Yeah.
but I got it pretty good. I can walk. I'm breathing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have all of my senses.
Yeah.
Not everyone can say that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where it's just, to be grateful, to be appreciative, to enjoy life as much as we can. But anytime we talk, you're such a breath of fresh air for me in that reminder and the way that you live your life. And yes, it's structured, but I take that away so often when I was like,
Yeah, but it's crazy because like in my own head, I'm like,
of course.
why are you so selfish? Why are you so negative? You know, 100%.
Yeah.
So you're always fighting that. It's weird because, people will say things, but I'm like, I don't always feel like that, you know, and it's interesting. But I like what you said about the parents. I think the parents get lost. I had at my Boys to Men training, me and the trainer got into a really good conversation about parents are just the kids grown up. I think everyone's a human. So my little's mom was amazing. A lot of stories are someone will text the mom or the dad, and then they don't see their little for months because it's usually the parents. So I was like super lucky in that case, but it's all about how you grew up and how you were raised, right? And so let's say the Boys to Men kids, let's say I haven't started yet, but let's say one of the kids is just getting beat or something. That means something happened to the parent somewhere back in their life.
Right.
And it's always got to be pulled from the root. This might be too candid. I'm a big proponent of, in my opinion, the homeless issue. If someone's out in the streets on fentanyl, there's almost a 0%, if not a 0 out of 0% chance that you can save them. It has to be cured at the root. You have to pull from the root. That's why I'm focused on the kids. The kids are the ones that are going to become that. If you could stop it now, I think you got to put the resources into the kids. And then obviously with all the stuff going on, you have to put even more now.
I hear that. I think there's some truth to that for sure. Did you have anyone in your life at all that was a coach, a mentor, a support system beyond your parents that had an impact for you?
My parents were super poor growing up, both made it to Vegas. That's another story, but that's probably that instability of their life is why we had such a stable living.
Sure.
My parents didn't teach through talking. It was just action. My dad was sick. He's going to work. We have to be at baseball practice at 3:30. We're at practice at 3:30. My clothes are clean. You just learn these things subconsciously over time, years and years and years and years. You have guests coming over. You clean the house. You make sure the pool has no leaves in it. You have food ready. You bring gifts for people's birthday, even if you don't like them. Every single thing, you know.
I will say I do. When we came over to your place, I do appreciate that you had the candle lit in the bathroom. And
I have the guest bathroom in my place because I know if I have guests, I have control over making sure it's clean.
Totally.
There's towels.
Yeah,
there's mouthwash. Whatever anyone needs, it's there.
On record, I want to say it was noticed. It was appreciated.
That's why. Even if it's not noticed, subconsciously people notice it. And it creates your own brand is evolving every single time you interact or someone comes into contact with something.
100%.
But in my opinion, I'm just an accumulation of my 8 or 10 best friends over the past years, probably since I was maybe, let's say, 12.
Sure.
I'm not unique at all in any way. I don't think anybody is. I think not even Bezos, Elon, no idea, no person is unique. You're just pieces of every other cool thing. One friend had cool hair. One friend had clothes that I liked. One friend listened to this music. And it's all these different pieces have formed into me. So yeah, I'm unique in that way, but I'm not unique at all. You could literally pull the 10 pieces of me and pick each friend that I have. That's that person. And then just evolving and changing over time. And then obviously meeting new friends. I just don't think anybody's unique. There's not one idea that's really, every idea has been thought of, you know.
When you say that, I immediately go to there's no such thing as an original thought.
No.
There's an original way to take an old thought and repurpose it. And then I would agree that most of us are a collection of not just people, but what do I watch? What do I consume? It's the very simplified version of we are what we eat, and that's what my brain eats, and that's what my body eats. So who I'm with, and that. So I hear that.
Yeah, that's surrounding yourself with the people you want to be around is huge. I think friends are kind of pushed to the side. I'm one of these people, and this is candid again. I don't care if you're a family member. I don't care if we have the same blood. If you suck, you suck. Peace out. I'm not talking to you. I'm not going to any of your stuff. Now, I don't have any that do, But people, I'm going to my cousin's wedding. I hate him. Well, then don't go.
Yeah,
Like, no, like I see friends as family. I live here by myself. There's no family here. My parents are in Vegas, sister's in LA, but I've had to kind of do that myself. So like my friends are my family. I don't care if you're blood. In my opinion, that doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
It means nothing that someone is in my dad's bloodline. Who cares? I'm never talking to them again. I'm never seeing them. They're not cool. Maybe they're great. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
Have you always felt that way?
Yeah, more solidified now. But yeah, like my friends are my family. So me, where I think I'm unique is I'm one of the only men that call their other men friends. Daily, weekly, monthly. The only one. I've gotten that by a million people. Buddy said, only you, my girlfriend, and my mom call me. So I try to do, every time I'm in the car, I don't listen to music, all I do is call people. Usually it's my mom a couple times a day. Who haven't I talked to? Which friend do I need to check in on? I'm not asking for anything.
Yeah.
Let's just talk. Nobody's calling that person except for me, for the most part, especially on the guy side, except for some woman in his life. And so that's what I try to do. And that's where I think I stand out. And for me, it's, if you want relationships to last, you have to be proactive and make them last. Now, if you don't want it to last, don't call them anymore. And you'll see the friends that, oh, wow, Rob hasn't called me in a month. Why? And then the ones that love me will call me, and the ones that won't. And that's fine. And then that's kind of where I'm getting to now, where I've given a lot of that and I got to pull back a bit. And now I got to test. All right, I'm not going to call this person for a month. I've called them 99 times out of 100. I'm not going to call them, and let's see how long we can go. Because I'm not going to do it, you know? Yeah. Even then, I'll still, like, I don't hold grudges. I'm way too forgiving. I'm still going to call this person and see. Got another no? Okay, I'll wait another month or two. And then at some point that will go away. But I think people are too prideful. I'll call someone 99 times. As long as they answer the 100th, I'm good. But then, like I said, it gets to a point where over years and years, okay, this has to be cut off because I'm putting in everything. I'm reaching out. Once again, I'm not asking for anything. I'm just trying to say hi and see how you're doing. Yeah. Never know how everyone's doing. I'm doing great, which means I have to push back and give to the world. If I'm doing great, how can I help others do great? I'm huge into if you win, I win. Yeah. And that's something I wanted to talk to you about too, like with competitors. A competitor tells me they win a deal, I'm stoked because that just means the world of my industry just grew and expanded. Wasn't getting that deal anyway. They got referred in by someone. Like, what am I mad about and getting all ego about? The pie is big enough. Yeah, the pie is big enough for everyone. Like, they just expanded the fractional market of what we do. And now their 4 friends or business owners or whoever business group they're in, now they all know about this fractional model. Maybe they go to that firm. Maybe they go online and find us. I don't know. But I'm just a big proponent of, like, when you and I win, when I win, we win. Like, so it's the rising tide raises all boats. Don't care for that slogan, but that's like how I think about life. If Jeff Bezos creates Amazon, I win. I use Amazon every day. Yeah. If I'm not like, oh, Jeff Bezos, I would be better than him. I could have created Amazon too. No, who cares? It's an amazing product, amazing service. I get to use it. It makes my life better every day. Just men are too like egotistical in that. Oh, I could have done that. I get more girls than Jeff. Shut up. What are you talking about? No, we all win. Like,
while you were talking a little bit about the friend side, how does that translate to business? Would you say it's similar, the same, different? How does that show up in the professional side of what you've been doing for the last 3 years?
Yeah, that's something I've thought about a lot too. Is one of my goals earlier this year was I really wanted to blend my business partners, because that's pretty much who I'm talking to mostly. Clients don't have as much time. I'd love to talk to them more. They don't reach out and they don't respond back. So I spent a lot of my time with my partners. And I started to dial back and say, okay, which one of these people can I actually build real friendship with? Because that's where you learn when your life and business start to connect way more and more and more over time. And so I just been trying to really dial that back. But also, you got to be careful too, because you don't want to. It still started as a business relationship. I believe like how things start, like that's the structure, right? That's the bones. And so can you ever be best friends? Maybe not. But I've definitely built a lot of good friendships, but it's still kind of based around work. Yeah. Whereas when I'm with my real friends, you can get a little more unhinged and can get a little bit more off script, and it's just a little different. So you can still working on that.
You can be Saturday Robbie.
Oh, no, totally. Like I have a bunch of our guys, a lot of them are in 6 degrees, and even then I'm like, I'm not myself. Yeah. I'm almost there. I'm only like 85% myself. When I'm with my mom, I'm not myself. 80% myself. Yeah. When I'm with my friends, I am 100% myself 1,000, even more than when I'm by myself.
Unapologetic.
When I'm by myself, I'm only 98. When I'm with my friends, I'm 100% myself because I like to talk and hang out with my friends. That's where like my real characteristics and vibe come out. And so I'm almost there where you have to be careful though, right? I was telling one of my buddies, he was doing a little bit too much. And I said, hey, I want you to be yourself, but you got to reel it back. He said, well, no, I want to always be genuine. I said, yeah, but when you meet someone for the first time, you still have to play the game a bit. You have to ease in. You're going too crazy, you're going to push off everyone. How do you know that person's going to want to be your friend, or is cool, or the girl is going to want to go on a date with you? Like, you don't know yet. So if you come in two guns a-blazing, you're going to find the one out of 100, and that's fine. It's just there's a lot of good people out there that you're going to push off because that was way too much. Yeah. So you got to ease in a bit, but don't not be yourself. Just ease in a little bit when you're just meeting people.
It's more about like how much of me am I showing off the rip kind of thing, right? Like we just met and all of a sudden I'm seeing, if I was like, hey, how's it going? And you just go into like how shitty your fucking life is. It's like, that's real. That's authentic. That's genuine. That's way more than I needed to know in 5 minutes meeting you.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of feel like, is this, my first impression is, okay, this person lives in drama, loves drama.
You just absolutely sucked my energy out of me and I didn't even speak. You spoke and my energy after leaving this conversation went from 100 to 95.
Right.
You want to talk to people that give you energy. That's why I love these meetings, and the two today were amazing. But you do hit the ones where you come out and you just don't feel good. And I'm guaranteed I've done that. Probably still do that at least once a week to one of those 5 people I meet. I didn't provide them with more energy than after when they left. Like leaving things better than when you left it. That's for everyone to work on.
I'm
always.
A big believer in that saying. That one hits home for me. It's just like leave it better than we found it.
Yeah.
If we all did that, the world's a pretty good place for sure. For you, it sounds like there's this dance right now with, I have this friendship. There's a way that you interact with your friends and you're trying to incorporate that and find the balance of, because I think to your point, it reminded me of the bus, Christina, the bus analogy was like, there's only so much room on my bus at any given time. So, and there's so many people in my life, but how many people are on the bus? And can I get to a certain level of depth, a certain level of relationship with someone where if I want them in my life, it's okay, the bus has stopped. It's time for you to get off the bus. But when it comes back around, and it could be a year, it could be 5 years, it could be a month, we can pick up where we left off, right? But the bus is only so big. And we've felt this, but specifically for both of you, I'm curious how that, finding the balance between like meeting all of these new people, when I'm meeting 5, 10 new people a week, and then figuring out, okay, who do I want to invest time and energy in? How do I get to a certain place relationship-wise? Because not everyone's going to be my best friend. There's only room for like 2 or 3, right? It's just not possible. So I'm curious how that has evolved over the last couple of years.
Well, something that, Robbie, you've already said that I think resonates with your question, Eric, is how can I leave an impact with every person that I'm meeting? Is it going to happen every time? No, it's not. And that's just life, right? And that's just the math of how many people I'm meeting. But how many people can I make an introduction for that I meet? How many people do I have such a strong connection with when I meet them that like I really, really genuinely, like, I want them in my life and I want them to be, whether that's part of 6 Degrees or not, but at least part of something that I'm doing, or a place where I can see them more, or where can I support them. So I think it's every person's different. And as long as I do really like this, the leave everything better than I found it. It's not something that I've associated with business and even in these coffee meetings. So I appreciate you both for that conversation coming up and that point coming up in this context. Now I'm thinking about, if that's my mentality with every single coffee meeting that I go into, it's just like, how can I leave this better than I found it, in a way that's like, how can I make an impact with as many as I can?
Well, there's an effort part. I can try to make it better.
Sure,
every single time. And it might not work out, but I can put the effort in. There's a thing I can attempt to do that I can control to try to leave it better than I found it. I'm curious for you, Robbie, how that's...
Yeah, I would say humbly, very humble right here. I'd say my bus is 5 buses long, but that's for a few reasons. One, I don't waste any time. I'm up at 4 a.m. I do not stop moving until I'm in bed between 8 and 10 p.m. Not 1 second. I don't watch any Netflix. I watch one show a year, like Severance or whatever. I cannot sit and watch anything. I just move, because while I can still move, I'm going to. There's going to be a time in life, once again, there'll be a time where I can't. Break my leg, have a kid, whatever.
Sleep when you're dead kind of mentality.
That's when I'll pull back and catch up on the shows that I missed, because that's the time of life. But for now, while you can do this stuff, people always ask, do you want to come golf? Do you want to play pickleball? I'm like, no. I can go run 5 miles right now, or I can go play golf. While I can run 5 miles, I want to go run 5 miles. I'm not going to be able to run 5 miles. My dad is 75. He still plays golf. That means I can play golf for the rest of my life. I don't want to do that yet. I want to do the things that I can't do forever. But the bus thing, I segregate. I'm good at segregating. That's really bad. Holy moly. Definitely keep that in.
You segment.
I'm good at, what's the term? With my friends. Compartmentalizing my friend groups. So I have friends that we just go out with in PB. Then I'll have friends that just live in my building. I'll have friends who 6 degrees. Yeah. I have my best friends from high school, from college. They're all segmented into these different areas. So although you have the deepest relationship with somebody, you don't have to check in with them every often. You have the other friends you have barely a relationship with, and I call them every week, but it's never going to get deeper than that. I had friends that I played volleyball with. They were only for that time of life. Yeah. Now, I still consider them friends. I have, in my mind, I would consider tiers, but that's how, like, I don't waste any time, which, once again, I burn out a lot, so that's not a good thing. Sure. I'm always, probably have high blood pressure or whatever. And just knowing which friends are going to be the ones you talk business with, which ones are the ones you can invite to a nonprofit event, which ones are going to go to the gym with you. Yeah. They're not all going to fit. You are lucky as hell if you can find one person that will hit all of them. I have 0 friends that fit every single one of those. You don't have now, my roommate, love him. He won't go to a few things to me. He won't. Sure. Not this. I'm just saying in general, like a few other friends, they won't do this, and this. And you're lucky if you have one person that would truly do everything with you, and I have none. Not one person. I don't know
if I have at this with where we're at. Well, so you're my person. You would go do all the things that I would go do. For the most part, besides golf.
I don't golf.
If we went to just like normal lift, me and you go bench, would you do that with us?
Oh, I actually lift. He doesn't.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I actually.
So
like
I'm just trying to come up with like examples.
No,
like
golf is a good example, because I won't do that.
I think it's rare. I think you're right. I think it's rare to have someone that's
because there's also
ride or die in that way.
You are you. Nobody else is you.
Yeah.
You want to try surfing? You would go skiing and snowboarding. You would do. There's some of the like the adventure things that you would say like 100% sign me up, and I'd be like, no, I'm good on that. I don't need to go to that.
I'm not skydiving. I'm not bungee jumping.
Hell no.
Nope. I'll pay for you to go to make you happy. I'm not going.
Yeah.
No way.
No. Yeah.
We're gonna go skydiving.
No way.
Hell no. Okay, wait. I want to ask this. I guess this is more of like a personal question, because you've just the way that you're talking about your friends. I'm just super curious, especially with how much that you're calling your friends, which I think is amazing, because I don't do that. When you're talking about that, I'm putting up the mirror of like, Christina, why aren't you doing that? But I'm curious, do you tell your friends that you love them?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that through a few buddies. There's been a few meetings through work and personal that have just changed my life. One of my Rayson, who's in our... Every time I meet with him for coffee, how are you? He says, I'm grateful. And then I was like, I don't know, this seems fake and weird. Met him again, he said it again, and I was like, he's genuine, like so genuine. Now he's one of my best guys.
Yeah.
And that never left me. I've just, no matter what's going on, he's grateful to be in this moment.
I noted when I met him for the first time.
Amazing. Changed my life forever. I tell him all the time. Literally changed my life.
I love that He's got such a big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, he's the best. And he's going through stuff too, but he doesn't force it on others, right? Not that you shouldn't express things. He just knows which avenues probably to express things that maybe he's going through. Yeah. One of my buddies, like you end the call with loves every time. Just loves, hang up, right? And you'll hear some friends when you say it to someone for the first time, and they'll be like, the guy on the phone will be like, what the hell is that? You know? And then the next time they'll do it.
Did you send this to me? Have you seen like the TikTok, Instagram? Is it a bunch of guys and then just like doing what you're doing? The wife or someone films a reaction and they're like, it's 10 p.m. You're just calling me to tell me that you love me.
Yeah.
They're like, are you okay?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just interesting because in this culture that we've grown up in, and you're a little bit younger than us, but not that far off. And so just there's been this stigma around just expression of feelings and emotions and things. And so I really appreciate when people are able to express that and share that, because, and even when it is maybe uncomfortable the first couple of times, but then realizing that like that person also really wants to hear that and probably say it back. And it means a lot.
It's very human to we all just want to be loved.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I remember I called.
We all want to be accepted.
There was one call in particular. Called a work buddy. And, hey, Robbie, what's going on? What do you need? I said, nothing, bro. Just wanted to check in. And you could, like, feel the energy through the phone of, like,
I needed
wait,
this.
what? No one does that. Everyone needs something. I don't need anything. Just need you to be my friend. That's it.
Yeah.
Just talk to me for 5 minutes. Motivate me a little bit.
I'm sure there's a positive for you of you're going to get some juice off of
Always.
that, right?
Always.
Of just hearing how like, oh, like, what do you have going on? What are you excited about? What's the thing, right? I've had that before for sure.
Yeah.
You joined this men's group. Is this part of a more recent thing, or like this has been?
Yeah, just haven't been around any young kids before. And even when I was in nice neighborhoods and I was in San Diego. I'm not around. For me, this is the one, Boys to Men, this is the one that's going to teach me the most. I know it. The training was already intense. No, like you statements
Oh,
or
you got I statements?
I statements. So I've probably done it 5 times on this of, well, people do this. It's like, no. Focus that on what do you do, because when you're talking to the kids, they want to see that you've gone through something and that you're not pushing that out into the world, because they're already seeing that and doing that. And then the other thing of not telling them what to do, not giving them advice, telling through stories, and then the questions. That's what I liked about your coffees the most. Yeah. Not telling people this is what I would do. That's what I'm the worst at. Not that I think I'm the greatest person. It's just everyone has an answer for everyone else's issues except for their own.
It's so
everybody.
Easy. It's so easy.
But everyone's has their own experiences. So I could tell this person, go work out, but they've never been to the gym. They didn't have weight training in high school. They've never been with friends. All of their friends have been overweight, or they didn't have any friends. Like they don't know what that means. They don't.
So much more effective to share my experience and share what I did and what worked for me, rather than project of here's what you need to do because of what worked for me. Yeah. There's 2 different experiences. Yeah. So I love that. I've heard you multiple times in this conversation.
Oh, I noticed every single one.
Shift from you to I, and
I'm trying. It's hard.
It is.
It's really hard.
I've done it for so long. So this is a random topic. So like by being in Vegas is cool. The culture is very negative and pessimistic.
Sure.
And so I had a talk with a friend who I was just stoked when she came to me and said, hey, you're being an asshole and you don't really know. And it's not really directed at anyone, but it's coming off negative. I felt really crappy, but I was so thankful that she did, because I'm still untangling the Vegas culture to this day. I've been here 7 years and I'm still untangling me and my friends just make fun of each other, and that's how we communicate. And we make fun of other people, and it's just who can roast each other. It's like still trying to untangle the yarn ball. Yeah. Even 7 years in here. And so I need friends like her to say, Robbie, you're being an asshole, instead of the other friend just, oh yeah, he's just joking. It's no, like, please, if I take it too far, you got to tell me, because that's how I learn. Right. I want to learn and get those little tiny things are how you get better. Now I still want to be myself, and I still want to, say the word nerd if I need to, as a joke. But like, it doesn't need to be directed at anyone. It's kind of that locker room talk, there's time and place for it. So just making sure that you're realizing it. And then, always, what can I do better? What did I mess up on? Not the world. The world doesn't care about you. How can I be better? Every single thing I'd mess up on now, every 10th, I'll be like, ooh, I want to point blame. No. Flip it. What did I do wrong?
What was my role?
How could I have done better?
Situation is a magic question.
1000%. So the quicker you can just turn it around to yourself. What could I have done better? Or realizing, these things happen, but I could have done X, Y, and Z.
To go back to the coffee conversation, there's learning in every moment.
100%.
There's learning in every conversation. And so much of it is, what's my role in this situation, in this conversation, in this. I heard you say mistake. or messing up. It's not always, it's just like I did a thing, and can I be aware that that wasn't the way that I intended it. It didn't land the right way. That's half of the battle. If I can just pay attention and just kind of catch myself going like, oh, you're right. I was being an asshole and I didn't really mean it to be.
Yeah.
Thank you.
100%. If you make the mistake, own it versus pushing it out into the world. Like Jordan Peterson has that thing, like make your bed. Don't go out and criticize the dirty world if your house is dirty.
Right.
Clean your house. And then you can criticize the world. But
yeah, it's easier.
No one's house is spotlight.
It's easier to criticize the world.
Definitely. One of my long-term goals is to become governor of Nevada. No chance.
Is that a goal?
It was until I tweeted at 12. 12-year-old Twitter fights after football games. No chance I'll ever be governor of Nevada.
Is that a thing though? Like, do you have political aspirations in any way, shape, or form?
No, I've got a lot of fun long-term goals, but that was like definitely one that would have been cool. I wanted to like own a hotel maybe, but then I'm like, no, governor of Nevada, and then I'm like, no, they'll find my tweets, old tweets that'll kill me. But I have a few fun ones.
But this is interesting because in my experience, you're not one to really like the spotlight.
Yeah, but I'm also not one that can be, I'm trying to get to the point where nobody can influence me. I'm so influenced by myself and getting better every day that nobody can influence me. Now, that's easier said than done. Every politician says that, and then they get into office and they don't do anything.
Well, sure,
now,
money starts showing up.
The system is set up where it takes a long time to make these changes. So even if whoever got in and wanted to, it takes longer than 4 years or whatever. But I just feel like I can't be influenced, and no, so it's not really something I would want. And I don't like the spotlight. I like these settings, but it would be kind of cool. And Nevada's a good state to do it in. It's only basically 2 cities, so
sure.
Yeah. But I got some fun long-term goals. I'll give you a few, but I'll loop it around to my real philosophy. Like when I retire, I want to be a philosophy professor back at my school, alma mater, UNR. I think it'd be the sickest thing ever. Teach 1 class a week, just blow these kids' minds.
Like adjunct?
Oh, just blow their minds about life, some business, and then just some philosophy. I don't know what the curriculum would be, but that would be awesome. I want to own my own animal shelter for sure.
Yeah.
I think that overbreeding in the TJ, and it's just the worst thing ever. They'll breed baby puppies and they'll throw them on the side of the road. Now, for them, they don't see dogs the way we do. It's a business. I get it. But that's something I'm very passionate about. I've always wanted to own a coffee shop, but it's going to be a nonprofit and it's going to literally break even. I'm not expecting to make $1 because restaurants are already hard enough to make money.
Yeah.
The goal will be to get it to break even. Any dollar over, half goes to the employees, half goes to whatever nonprofit or something. That would be like a long-term goal. Literally by wherever I end up living.
Yeah.
Being able to go and get your own cup of coffee and just hang in at your own shop. That would be like sick. And then taking the emotion out of it and the money out of it. I'm not expecting to make $1, and I'm in a financial spot where if I need to throw a few grand at this every month for whatever, that's fine. I know it's a sunk cost. It's just for the vibe of like having that. That would be cool.
It becomes a community. It's a staple in the community. People, like that's to me is if I ever opened a restaurant. I would never get into the restaurant world to make money.
Right.
I want a bar to go hang out with my friends and do this.
I would love to be like a partner. So you want to be? Can I be a partner of your coffee shop? So I can just come by and
do you want to lose money? Then come join. If you want to lose money, but have some coffee.
It's not losing money if you run it right. Like you take care of the people, and it goes anything above it, we're donating our profit.
Yeah. During COVID, I helped like 10 friends create investment accounts. I said this March 2020 low is going to be one of the historical drop. One of my goals would be to partner with like an elementary school and help set up all of the kids with an Acorns account. I have an Acorns account. I just throw whatever money to it every Monday. It's sick. I love it. I started with $5 every Monday year 1, went to 10, 15, 20. I think I'm at 30 like year 6.
Nice.
It's insane. Just every Monday. For me, it's like toilet paper. Just you don't even see it. It just comes out of your account. But it'd be cool to set up these kids with an Acorns and donate their like first $20 into their account. And just like
watch it grow.
Give it to them. And
That's cool.
That would be a really cool, fun goal. Obviously, I like money. Everybody does. I'm just, as I said, I'm really trying to pull out of the emotional side and letting it drive my activity and my decisions. Instead, do what you like to do. You're doing this podcast because you like to do it. If you're good at it and things blow up, it's going to bring money, but that's not the whole purpose of it.
No, it's
People
not.
starting things for the purpose of making money, it might not fail, but it's going to fail you.
Sure.
Internally, your spirit is going to fail because you don't care about what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, it's empty. It's empty.
Yeah, it's empty for sure. To circle back, I have 0 long-term goals, basically, is what I'm getting at. They're all just fun ones. I want to make a movie one day, own a movie studio, like not an A24, but when A24 started, that's my main goal.
Yeah.
I want to be in
Obviously.
it, even if it's just as an extra.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And, you know, every guy wants to own a sports team. That's out of the picture. I'm never going to be rich enough to own a sports team.
No? You don't think so?
No.
Well,
no way.
that's on my trajectory.
Yeah.
No, and that's fine. But like,
I'm
I'm just
gonna
yeah.
own a sports team.
Yeah,
probably.
I'm just
Yeah.
in my own world. I'm realistic in what I'm doing, and that's never going to be me. But that would be like a different reincarnated life. That
Sure.
would be being a GM of a football team would be unbelievable.
You'd want to be a GM?
Oh my God,
Why would you want to be a GM?
The organizing of the contracts and the relationships with the agents and the coaches and the salaries, it just sounds fun. Now, yeah, you're going to get fired every 3 years.
Highest pressure, one of the highest pressure
no, you're going to
jobs
get
in
fired every
America.
3 years, but you go be a GM at another or go to college and be the athletic director. I used to have all these different things I wanted to do.
Yeah.
This year I simplified. It's working out, friends, and I've never been happier.
Yeah.
All of my goals are day-to-day, week-to-week. I have 0 long-term goals. I'm not thinking about travel. I'm not thinking about money, nothing. It's just, how can I just dominate today, which I feel like I did. And after this, I'm going to go continue. Just juice. I'll come out of this even more juice.
Yeah, no, you're going to.
How can I just dominate every single day from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m., dominate it? Whatever that means for me. That could be 3 showers, brushing my teeth 4 times. For me, that makes me feel good. Other people would be like, dude, you just wasted time. Like, no, you watched an hour of Netflix. That's a waste of time for me.
Yeah.
For me, brushing my teeth 4 times and showering 3 times makes me feel like I'm moving in that
Do you really shower
direction.
3 times?
No,
and
I
brush
mean,
your teeth 4 times?
minimum 2. I don't remember the last time
Well,
I
I mean,
showered
well,
once.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because it
Okay.
sounds like you shower twice a day, every day.
A shower is a
it's
reset on
it's a
your life,
little
more than
different.
sleep. Every time you shower, you just reset your entire
Wash
life.
away, yeah.
See,
Every single time.
Okay, hold on.
It's different for girls,
It's such
though.
a
You
different
gotta-
experience for men and women. I'm like, look at how much hair I have. Like, this is just a nightmare.
You gotta wear that Michael Phelps cap.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
I do, I appreciate that because it's finding the things that are going to make my day successful for me, and that looks different for everybody. So,
Yeah, last year I read 20 books, 1 a week, and I just burned out. Trying to learn keyboard, trying to write my first movie script, like all these little things. I'm like, dude, you're just spreading yourself thin. Trying to stock trade.
Yeah.
Oh, now you read about crypto. Dude, just simplify your life. Focusing on these 3 things. Next year, maybe it's a different 3. Maybe it's 4.
Work, friends,
and I split
work,
2
friends,
of them into
work, friends, and family.
work, friends, and fitness, working out, health. Like,
Yeah.
once again, I'm only going to be young this long. There's only so much time to be like, try to work and do some of these sporting activities you can. Friends, people are getting married, they're going to have kids. You're not going to have the 4 buses of friends I'm going to have. That is going to be one bus
gonna
one
shrink.
day.
It's gonna
so
shrink.
while
Oh, it
I
does
have
shrink,
4
yeah.
buses of friends,
Yeah.
enjoy the shit out of it.
That's
Yeah.
Because that
that's a
4
good
buses
point.
is going to be 3, 2, 1 so quick, and then it's going to be a minivan.
That's a really
that's such good advice.
great analogy because I think we're a handful of years ahead of you. Our bus has shrunk, but in my 20s, the bus
God,
I had
yeah.
4 or 5 buses,
Yep.
and I was the person. I was like, I want all of you
Yeah.
to meet. I'm super curious based on what you said about living day to day, week to week, dominating the day, not really having plans. What's your position or goal with ownership, home ownership? Like, how do you?
I don't want to own anything.
You don't want
Zero.
to. You don't want to
For
own
now.
anything.
For me, it's all about letting life. Christmas is coming. I'm not going to Christmas. Christmas is coming to me. So like, life is coming out. You're like in a game of Maze Runner. You're just the guy. You just have to maneuver. Life is coming. The seasons are coming. The world's spinning. I don't want to own anything right now. I want to lease everything. All I want to do is just stack capital, which whatever relative term that means, because that is coming one day. Whether it's the house, the wedding, the kids, whatever. I want to start a business. So don't know what that is. Back to the why. Like, I don't know my why. But that doesn't mean you can't prepare for when that's coming or what that's going to be. That could never come. Okay, perfect. I just stacked a bunch of money and now
I'm good.
I can
good no matter what.
Family's good. I can pay for dinners when I go out with my friends, great.
Okay,
Maybe that never comes.
Because that's different than I think a lot of people that have this instant gratification. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Fuck it, I'll figure it out later. I'm gonna say yes to all the trips. I'm gonna do the YOLO lifestyle, right?
Yeah, and this is like not pessimistic or candid, but at some point, people need to do the time and sacrifice. So during college, I went home every summer, every winter, every holiday, and I worked my valet job. I missed every spring break, every summer, every Christmas, every New Year's. I worked every single one, every 4th of July, every single one. I did my time for those 5 years, and I sacrificed. I missed every single one of those. Guess what? I never have to miss one ever again. Some people never do their time, and they never do that sacrifice.
Yeah.
I haven't been on a trip in 2 months. I'm like, well, yeah, keep going. You're never going to build that like safety net. Once again, though, I had a nice familial like basis to go off of.
Sure.
Once again, where I say I'm lucky, but I still, that first world sacrificing. I was working a job and I missed every single one of those holidays.
Any regrets on missing any?
I have regrets, but I think back to this. I've been really, really thinking about this the last 2 weeks. And this is like huge. Intuition, every single one of those regrets, if I would have changed and I would have done it, I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you two. And every decision I made has set me up with the best life ever. And so my intuition is right. And until it's wrong, I'm following it. And that's why I trust every decision I make, because it's got me to sit here in San Diego. I live in Little Italy. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I drive a Tesla. I'm healthy. I'm financially healthy. It's like, I am not going to question one single decision that my gut says, because it's gotten me to here. Now, there are regrets I have, but I've been really trying to like be nice to myself and be like, you wouldn't be sitting here. If you would have joined that fraternity, you would have been with some nerds in San Francisco or SAC or whatever. No, the fact that I didn't drove me to this friend group that then drove me to being like, why wasn't I a part of the cool kids?
Yeah.
Why didn't I get there? Like, I wasn't in the fraternities. UNR was a big fraternity school.
Right.
It's a regret. Why didn't I play football in high school, senior year? Now, why am I so baby and weak and, I never got busted by a 400-pound Hawaiian? Those are the regrets. But if I would have, my life would have gone down. The butterfly effect would have completely changed. So I'm perfect with everything. And so continuing to listen to the gut intuition and being like, your gut is saying this. Be patient, though. You'll know when the right time is. Strike, right? Yeah. Same thing when I got this job, when I moved to San Diego, when I moved to Little Italy. Like, it was all these little tiny, an idea sparked. It was a cancer. It grew. And then I made the move. You strike.
You acted on it.
Patient, act. Patient. Some people are patient too long and they don't strike, and some people strike too quick.
Yeah.
I feel like I found a really good balance. There's going to be mistakes. That's why
it's working for you, though.
That's why the no long-term goals thing and this kind of like how I structure my life. Once again, I'm not questioning anything. If someone said this the other day, this was so sick. If 5 years ago you would say, would you take you right now or infinity other yous? Which one would you take? I would take this one. If you could have every other opportunity, let's say 9 billion yous in other scenarios, or you, the way you ended up, me sitting here right now, which person would you pick? Would you say yes or no? I would say yes.
The other version of that is less about the you part of it, but like, here's a jar full of marbles. One of these the white marble is you, the rest of them are black. This is the 8 billion other people in the world. Would you rather take your life, which and whatever it is, or would you take someone else's?
Or would I trade? Like, would you
trade it? Would you trade it with?
Fuck no,
would you trade it for the chance of whatever anyone else is going to do?
No, because the chance of something worse is so much higher.
Relative to easy, hard, difficult, right? All the things are pretty good overall. As frustrating as I can get, not being exactly where I want to be, as financially unsatisfied as I am. If I live in America, I'm in the top 1% of the world.
I'm not a cricket or an ant or something. I could have been like a pigeon or something.
Sure.
Now I'm like human in the United States. You take that and you run with it 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000. There's no better than that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of that bleak doom and gloom, and I won't take it. I push positivity all the time. Yeah. I just need people to tell me, Rob, you're being negative. Some of your old Vegas deep roots are coming out. Stop. And I want more feedback because I want to get better. Even though in that moment it fucking hurts, you're like, oh, my ego. It's always the best thing.
In terms of the feedback thing, and this will be the last question I have, or more of a thought on the feedback part. There's a thing that we teach or I've learned from Rudy's work around the feedback loop. And this is something that I know that you're getting in more of this mentorship role at work as well and outside of work. What we would do after every shift in a restaurant, but after every day, especially when I'm bringing someone on, the way that we'd end the day on the shift is I'd ask the person, what's one thing, Robbie, that you feel like you did well? Then they answer, great. And then if you could play the tape over again, what's one thing that you would do different to enhance your performance, right? Depending on where we're at in that kind of how many days in a row of this, I'd like, I have some feedback. Would you want to hear my feedback? And then I would say, here's one thing that I thought you did well. Maybe it's the same thing and I'm reinforcing it. But now here's the thing that most people do. When that happens, 90% of the time, 9 out of 10 people will go to the negative thing.
For sure.
They go,
good things and you hear the 10th bad, and I'll sit on that all day.
Well, not even the number of, but like if I say, hey, Robbie, what's one thing that you did really well in this conversation? You're going to go, I didn't do this. Like it's the natural habit is to go to the negative. For
sure.
And then it's like, no, hold on. What's one thing you did well? You did 100 good things. Just pick one. If there's a list of like the top 10, you're telling me like what your top 10 was. And I just want to see where that is on my top 10. There's a way to do that to get feedback from leaders, from someone in a leadership role that you're working with of, hey, what's one thing that you feel like I did really well? And if I could do something different to do even better next time, what can I do different?
So you're saying even basically I'm being a hypocrite, not in a way like I'm preaching this, you got to be proactive and go. And in this way, I'm kind of hiding from asking for I need to be proactive and ask for the feedback and say, why would I expect anyone to come to me and say, Robbie, you've messed this up? They're not going to do that.
What if you were more proactive with it?
With
right?
that, yeah.
We do a feedback loop after every event that we host, right? We'll both sit down and we're like, okay, what was one thing that went well? And we might have the same thing that went well, or we might have different things. And then what's one thing that we would do different to, what did you say? What's the words?
To enhance our performance.
Enhance our performance further.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we do, and it's a habit that we've practiced, at least with the two of us. I don't know that we've really done it as much with leading a team in this business. I know that you've done it in other businesses before. It's been super helpful.
Because what it actually does is it builds relationship.
Yeah.
If you were doing that with someone like Jen or someone else on your team, you're going to get a different type of interaction. And you both are going to be able to talk to each other because you're kind of putting deposits in the bank of here's something that went well, here's something you can do better. And it's not negative, it's not critical. So much of relationships is over time. But if I need to put money in, I need to put deposits in the bank so that I can be more direct at certain times when it needs to happen. Right? We talked about this 3 times already. This needs to change. Versus it's the first time we're doing it and I'm like, you fucked up.
Yeah.
And then it gets into, well, how do I make that an I statement? And how do I have it be more conscious about like how I'm articulating the conversation and come from a place of kind versus nice? And then it gets all into conscious communication stuff and it gets really interesting. So that's the one thing I'll say is like, if you want more feedback, that would be a way to ask for more feedback.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned a lot about you, Robbie, even though we've known you for a long time at this point. At least like you were one of the early people to join 6 Degrees. And so I feel like our relationship is built quite a bit and I still learned a lot. So I would love for our reinforcement, what is something that, and it doesn't have to be necessarily something that you learned about Robbie today. It could be something about each other. But what's a new thing that each of us learned about somebody in this room? I think would be a really fun reinforcement.
Something I learned about the two of you or myself.
Sure. Or it could be about myself personally as well. What's a new thing that I learned today?
We've talked about this on like a higher level, but more of your search for your why around what you're doing from the volunteering that you're doing and how what you're doing now fits into the impact that you want to have and how being on the ground and having the day-to-day with those people and how much that's touching and really kind of helping, or not helping, but how much you're feeling that is, I appreciate that on a whole new level.
Yeah, I think something that I learned today, I didn't realize how often you're putting in so much effort with the people that you love. and giving and calling people and just spending your time so intentionally of the things that really fulfill you. So I really appreciate that. And that was a really beautiful thing for me to learn today about you.
Thank you. My mind's going to, guys, it's just the evolution of our 3 relationship over time and how we've all kind of grown together. Yeah, I can't really put it to words. It's more of like a feeling of how you both have changed. And I know the changes you've made to 6 Degrees. This is sick, by the way. This is really sick. But yeah, I think a theme of mine is being intentional this year, or at least going into 26, and how you're both, not that you weren't intentional, but how you've really dialed in being intentional, and both of us pushing away from you're the networking people and I'm the networking guy. Yeah. And there's like a true thing there between us because we were kind of on that same path. And now we're both peeling off of it, realizing that's not who we want to be. And that's not what that was intended for.
Yeah.
And it kind of grew a life of its own. And now we're all on this new path of being intentional. And yeah, I've been fighting with that, right? I talk to a lot of people, but I got to start cutting people off, actually. That's where my next level of growth is. The growth originally when I was a networking guy is meet as many people as possible. Now it's coming back down. I got to offload a lot of this now and dive deeper. And so that's kind of where I'm seeing like just our evolution and connection of how we were kind of in that same sphere.
Yeah.
You guys definitely have a head start on me because I've been talking to you about this for about a year now.
Yeah.
And so I'm like a month in. It's an interesting mental change. Right? Like,
yeah, it's a shift.
Getting rid of some friends who don't deserve me, or maybe I didn't deserve them. It doesn't feel good yet. It doesn't feel great.
Right.
Right. I know you both probably going through some ups and downs of things like, but it will be a lot better. But in this moment, I'm like, I kind of want to call that person or no, this is, so like, and I know you're throughout your business and personal, like you're kind of going through the same thing.
Yeah, there's definitely this transition piece. This year has been a big transition part. So yeah, like again, I'll just reinforce like the networking. There's nothing wrong with networking, right? Yeah. And I think we've been very intentional, and then to your point, like dialing that intention and getting more laser focused on like, this is how we want to be intentional, right? I think that's what's kind of evolved, and it sounds similar for you. And the hard part is to grow. What most people associate with growth is scaling, and it's like, no, we can grow down.
Exactly.
Like we can grow deeper.
We can grow deeper.
And
that's
how do we dig
roots.
this well and dig these roots into the ground deeper? And I feel like that's been the last 6 months
for sure.
Yep.
And how do we do that more? And then that actually the tree grows.
That's exactly it, right? Like I always thought growth was meeting and doing as much as possible, and now I'm realizing the current evolution of my growth is actually going to be peeling that back.
Yeah.
Still doing probably more than a lot of people, but for my own term, I got to get that bus from 4 to 3, and then 2 more years I got to get that to 2.
And the other part of that is like, just because someone's off the bus doesn't mean it's forever, right?
Exactly.
Like I'm just dropping you off at the stop.
Yeah.
And hopefully at some point it comes back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Thanks so much, man. I'm glad you could come on and.
Yeah, I'm glad it got to a point where you were like, no, I can do this.
I was pushing it out, and I was trying to find a week where I said, you know what, that looks like the right date, and I will have enough time out to mentally think about stuff. I don't like I said, I try to hide in the shadows a bit.
Yeah.
Even though I'm out there. And so, but I was like, this sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing all this stuff. I would listen to a few for sure. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for coming, man.
Of course.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you. On this episode with Robbie, he talks about almost like becoming mentally prepared for these bigger life experiences that he like hasn't gone through yet, or the first funeral and things like that, and just in his like appreciation for his life being a little bit more, I guess, smooth sailing than others. And I'm just like, can anyone actually mentally prepare for what we haven't experienced?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would join Robbie in the first time I went to a wedding and a funeral was the same year as when I was 21. I don't know that there's a good or a bad like it's just that was my path. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of that's kind
It's
of the
just
way
what
that's kind of the
happened.
way it happened. And
Yeah.
so it's more of like just the belief that life is only going to give you things that you can handle.
I mean, I don't, that's such a, for me, that's such a weird thing to say. It's almost like the same thing of when we were talking to Amanda, she said something about like the niceties because we were talking about, oh yeah, like just like the uncertainty of this year or whatever. And it's like, yeah. And at the same time, nothing is fucking certain. What can I guarantee besides, we kind of said this yesterday with Robert too, just like the laws of physics, but like life is only going to give me what I can handle. That to me is like another nicety. It's another just nice thing to say because of course until someone takes their own life and then that person couldn't handle whatever the thing that life gave them, and then we don't really say that phrase about that person. But with everything else, it's like, what do you mean? Like, of course, like, yeah, I'm still here, aren't I? So life gave me what I could handle because I'm still here and I didn't take my own life. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't know about that phrase being like holding much weight to it.
Yeah, I guess I think of it as, does life happen to you or for you? It's the same.
Well, according to Robbie, it's coming at him. He said that on the episode. But yeah, is it to you or for you? Well, I don't think that everything is for me. Do you think that's happening for you?
Yeah, everything's for me. And it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. It's like which one.
I don't think it's happening to me either.
Right. So one is like this victim and is like.
I guess now I hear the for me part in a different way. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever I'm going through,
No,
as tough as it is, as hard as it is, like there's a lesson here, or there's something that I'm going to learn and take away, and it's going to be really. I can't see it in the moment. It's like everything happens for a reason. Or what I've shared with you, my version is like it all works out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
These are all just different versions of, like, in the moment, yeah, like I 100% hear, like that person took their life so they couldn't handle it. Life can't give you anything that you can't handle. And it's like, well, that's kind of shitty. But in that, if you were able to tell that person, hey, like life's not going to give anything that you can't handle. If they had someone to talk to, and like that was kind of the mindset that they were able to get their head around. And everyone's different.
Or what if life is just fucking happening and life is lifing? And then,
well, it is. So
but like that's the thing is like, why does it have to be like to me or for me or anything to do about me? I'm here and I'm enjoying my life, and I'm moving through the life the way that Christina moves through the life.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But
that's not how. So part of it is, I actually don't know if it's true for life that life is happening for me, that the universe is, but if I believe that, it's probably going to show up more.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Sure.
And to your point, like everything just is.
Yeah. It's just happening.
There is
no positive. The way I
react to there's no positive. There's no negative. You have your experience. I have mine. We could both, we walk outside and it's raining, and we moved to San Diego. So now we love the rain. And everyone here is like, oh my God, it's raining.
I do love the rain.
Right. And I hate being wet, but like, we pick, and sometimes we don't consciously pick, but like it's
right.
So when I say life is everything happens the way it's supposed to, is like it's
but
just me. It's me choosing.
You believe.
It's me choosing to interpret.
Right.
Interpret the experience as what I deem as a positive.
And that's super valid, right? It's the same. It's people having faith in the religions that they have faith in, and believing in the things that they believe in, and there's people believing in a simulation and all the things that we believe in. And yeah, I guess in this moment, I'm like, I don't need to attach myself to everything that's happening like around me or for me or to me or whatever the thing. It's not all about me first and foremost, but I'm going to control the way that I'm reacting to what's around me. And this is Christina in the big world of life.
I feel like this is a good spot to talk about. It's the end of the year. And this is gonna be the last episode of the year.
Oh my God, you're right. This is the last episode of the year.
Specific to 6 Degrees, what are you most proud of this year? And then specific to this podcast, what'd you get?
Yeah. So specific to 6 Degrees, what I am most proud of from this year is us really taking ownership of our vision. I think we've learned a lot. And then this year we said, no, we're changing our name. Mm-hmm. We're cutting out the events that aren't serving the intentionality that we bring to things. I mean, we were intentional in those too, but we said like, this is what our vision of 6 Degrees has been. And we're finally saying, this is what we're doing going forward. And that's how we want to grow. So we've had that conversation a bunch, and I've expressed that a lot, even on this podcast. But that is what I'm the most proud of for this year. Before I go into the podcast version of that, or your next question, what is your answer to that question?
I think my answer is, I think I'm proud of you as leading the charge. And I think we brought on team members. We brought on an intern. We brought on someone remotely. We're bringing someone else on. And that's all 100% you. And also you, I think, watching you delegate and watching you just try to move out of the way that we're like to shift the day to day by doing that and having the bigger picture and having the vision. And that's what I'm most proud of. Front row seat.
I'm trying not to cry. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to need you to talk about the podcast now, unless it's going to be more stuff about me, because then I'm not going to be able to recollect.
Well, so the podcast is similar in the sense that, like, you know, I think where I get excited about ideas and I like bringing ideas to life. And this was an idea that you had, and it's harder for me to be consistent when the task or whatever to keep. It's like a one-time event. We're going to do this one thing. That's a little bit easier for me, a little bit more digestible than like, oh, we're going to do this every single week.
Yeah.
And execute that at a high level. And so I think the podcast is, I think the learning, like what I'm taking away the most is bringing someone on to be able to support what we want to do and help with the execution piece.
Yeah.
Has been really, really effective. And it's like, how do we do that in other parts of the business? So I think there's a blueprint here of we launched something. We said we committed to doing it on at least a weekly basis, and there's a schedule to it. And my role in that was putting some building blocks in place, and you and Valentina ran with it from there, right? So I think there's just learning of like, how do we do that in other parts of the business and get the right people set up for success in a similar way.
That's a really, really good point. I think I'm back. As you were saying that, it just made me think about just the same way that I talk about there's no quit button with 6 Degrees. Like I'm gonna, there's just not. And so when we were starting this, there was some parameters that you put in place to make sure that this was on brand. And one of those being even just the consistency part of it, and the fact that we're going to release every single week. And that's a shit ton of work. And because that's how we establish, like, this is the brand and this is how it's going to be, there is no like give up in me for that not to happen. And so, yeah, it is a good example of, okay, like here's what it needs. Here's the structure, here's the parameter or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, great. And then I'm going to go do it. And I had all the guide rails for it. And then I'm just going to make sure that it gets done. And part of that is bringing Valentina in to be able to be on the editing side of it. And, well, editing and marketing for it. And yeah, I guess part of that learning right now for me is like, oh, when I'm given something like this, one that I'm like really passionate about, I'm not giving up on it. I'm going to make sure that it's going to get done. And I'm going to make sure that it's going to be up to par or more. And
was part of the conversation we had with Robert recently, where it was talking about future episode, but talking about reflecting on like what's working, what's fulfilling. And okay, we have this podcast, we launched it, we've done 30 episodes, every Tuesday we've released it.
Yeah.
How does that apply to social media posts that we're trying to build out? How does that apply to the groups and being more consistent? There's something here so why is this working is probably a really good blueprint to take. And as we're thinking about systems and other things, it's like, why, like, what is it about this, the way it was set up, the way it was delegated, the way it was, whatever it was, there's analyzing this piece, probably going back and
a really good point,
and applying it to the other parts of the business that aren't as consistent, that aren't as dialed in. How do we get there? Like we have an example of something that worked for 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, I think if anything else, so one, we've gotten so much out of this experience of sitting down with our members and having that time. That's been invaluable, right? Like I wouldn't trade any of those.
Oh my God.
I haven't even listened to half of them.
But like sitting here in this room and having the conversations has been one of my favorite things to come out of this year. So I don't remember exactly what your question was around the podcast of just the reflection piece, but I am so insanely grateful for the time in this space with our members, with you. There's so much that even our growth within having these conversations with each other. And
for sure.
This is one of my favorite projects that I've ever done in my life. This is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Well, so what I was going to say, yes to everything you said. And what I was going to say is whatever the listens are and some of the metrics, and like, I believe it'll grow. At the same time, there's, from just like a branding standpoint, from a outside looking in standpoint, is to make it to 30 episodes in 6 months, we're doing something right. And we've met people that are like, oh yeah, I'm going to launch a podcast, and like, it hasn't happened.
Sure.
Right. And so like, there's an execution piece. There's something baked into what we do, we try things. And I think we can probably quote unquote fail publicly better, of like, here's why this didn't work, and share some of the learning around like the feedback for breakfast, which was really positive, and we pulled it away. Happy hours, people really liked it, we pulled it away.
Yeah.
So there's probably just more but at the same time, there's probably more we can do around sharing like the tractions. This is great, but 3 people showed up. Right.
Yeah.
I think the podcast and just the consistency of it builds trust and builds brand in a indirect way, I think. And there's like a legitimacy, right? Even someone, and I don't want to, there's some things to do on the website part of it, but from the marketing side is like, oh, I can, if I'm interested, I can see like, here's people that are part of this, and I can just click on that one sounds interesting. We have this catalog of that. So yeah, I mean, just the quick reflection on this year, like the podcast was a really big thing that we added. And there's been a lot of time that's gone into it. So thank you to all of our guests. Thank you to you and Valentina and everyone that did that.
Yeah, so much.
We rebranded, right? We completely officially were like, no, it's 6 Degrees Connections. That was a big thing. And we did a couple, we launched a couple new events this year. We pressed pause on a couple things this year. So there's a lot of learning this year. We took 2.5 really big swings with Padres. We did a backstage experience at the Music Box. Then we had Paco out for our holiday party and went really big on the holiday party. So I think, the last 6 months especially, there's been a lot that I think we should I'm saying this to both, I'm saying it out loud for myself as well, is like we should be proud of.
100%.
This year was
1,000%.
bigger risks, bigger, just more, I think, in a lot of ways. And, you know, we talked about the dinners are one of our favorite things. So how to do more things like the dinners.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what next year, hopefully, that's the goal for next year. And figuring out how to sustain that.
Yeah.
Right. And so to me, like, how do we make this profitable? How do we get cash flow positive on what we're trying to do? Because that's the missing piece at this point.
Yeah. I'm extremely proud of you and of us and of the community and of our team. And I know that I've shared this quite a bit in the last few weeks and maybe even the last couple of months, but I'm really, really, really optimistic about this next year. I had a coffee with somebody who said to me, it's like, yeah, you've been lining up all the dominoes, and I feel like we're about to just hit the dominoes and they're about to start falling. And I think we've been putting in so much work and so much effort, and it's not unnoticed. Our community freaking, like, they see it, they feel it. I'm just insanely proud of all the work that we've done and everything that we've done, like all the ways that we've been a net positive in Amanda's term, which I
and the
appreciated.
other thing I mentioned is that I didn't mention was, so we invested in marketing and trying to capture the story that we're trying to tell better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that was a really positive.
100%. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I say that all the time. 100%. Yes, we did. We invested in more marketing and
just capturing the things that we do. Right.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be there and experience it. It's another thing to be able to see it later. And yeah, that's how do we keep doing different versions of that? So
yeah,
2026.
Here we are.
2025 is in the books. Put her there, bub.
Put her there, bub. Put her there. We did it. No more 2025. Here we go, 2026.
See ya in 2026, everyone.
That's crazy.